Break out the Bengay, slip on your nicest tracksuit, and ready your angry ageism emails for next week's feedback. The nights are warm and the days are young, but the same can't be said for the brave crew of the Enterprise who are about to find those golden years turn deadly, cold, and flying by in mere hours. We're reviewing Star Trek 211, The Deadly Years, right after these secret Corbomite threats sent across Code 2. You got that I was making a reference to Bowie, right? A Bowie song?
I've heard of a Bowie song.
Welcome into Star Trek Universe, of course. This is a Trek Classic Watch/Rewatch episode with myself, David C. Robertson, who has watched all of this countless times.
And me, Effie, who has watched this precisely once. That is my claim to fame, my true expertise. I've seen this once.
I dig it. The surprisingly fulfilling Memory Alpha synopsis for The Deadly Years: the Enterprise discovers a colony full of rapidly aging scientists. Whatever caused the rapid aging of the scientists soon afflicts the ship's landing party as well. Kirk, Spock, McCoy, and Scott are shocked to discover that they are aging decades each day and will soon die unless a cure for their condition can be found. The unaffected Chekhov may be their only hope for survival. I like how this episode is so fucking sexist. Even Memory Alpha can't be bothered to mention that there was also a lady who got the disease on the away team.
Yep.
Who died.
She showed up. I thought, oh, that's going to be fun. And then she got more makeup, and then she died.
She died.
That's what she did.
She died way quicker than everybody else. And her only thing, her only bit was like, I don't want to look old. And then she died. And all the other men are the men are worried about their cognitive abilities,
mental capacity,
how they'll be perceived as far as being able to complete their tasks. And she's just
I'm not senile, and she's like, but now I look ugly.
Yeah, this is a stupid place to put a mirror.
Yeah, who does that? Oh.
If you haven't, look, you guys, regular listeners know, I adore Star Trek. The original series and Deep Space Nine are my favorite series out of all of them. I love Star Trek. This is a terrible fucking episode. This episode, I'm sorry, Effie, let's
not great.
I should have been like, Effie, what do you think? But, I'm just like, this is terrible. This is
fine. I get it.
And what's funny is it's been said, I've seen it so many times over the years that this episode hits all these negative stereotypes of growing old, but eschews the notion of wisdom and experience. It's this ageist.
Why the fuck would they get wisdom from radiation poisoning?
I know. I thought maybe it would have been stronger if Kirk had come to the bridge as an old man and still been able to outthink the Romulans, I get, and that would have been cool, but also, I get why people say it's ageist that he had to be cured of the old age, but the premise itself does not allow for wisdom and experience to play into it, because more than once they say that their minds are aging much, much, much faster than their bodies, and their bodies are going really damn quick. Yeah. And human beings are great at adapting, but they don't have time to here. This is all happening really quickly.
Yeah.
They don't have the wisdom or experience to handle aging gracefully. It's all sudden aches, sudden pains, and sudden senility. And to further drive my point home, because like I said, I have thoughts for this episode. I told you this years ago.
Yeah, no, that's years ago. Oh, jeez.
Years ago. I have known a lot of elderly people who have never matured at all, and they all act exactly like the crew is here. They're just angry as hell about everything.
Yeah, it is a very believable take on I'm going senile, but I refuse to acknowledge it.
There is
this stubbornness of just, no, I'm fine. Nothing is wrong with me. Piss off.
But
it is so much how old people act.
A lot of old people do, and they and I'm not trying to be ageist here either, but like there are a lot of very immature old people who are like very, very paranoid about their looks. They're, very stubborn. And of course here the same Spock is of course the only one who can handle it.
Yeah.
So like, I think
he's going to be 200 before he does. Like, that's fine. He'll be fine.
And I'm not saying that like, I think part of they could have done something way more interesting, but the episode was just like so overstuffed.
That's funny that you say that, because it felt like they were stuffing it to fill up time to me. Because the whole fucking, now we're getting sidetracked by whether or not he's still
competent
of command. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, come on. This is a waste of time, because we all know he should be focused on finding a fucking cure.
Yeah.
And then he'll be fine again.
Yeah. I'm like, they have maybe hours before they die. McCoy said they should all waste, at least an hour doing a competency hearing for Kirk.
Let's have a meeting and talk about shit and rehash what we've already seen happen.
And it sucks because
people have emotions about having to say that they saw that happen. That's it.
Yeah. And it sucks though, because like Spock versus Kirk, doing that in like a hearing setting is a great idea, but it sucks that it was wasted having Spock ask everyone on screen if Kirk did all the things that we as an audience just watched him do on screen, and everything Commodore Stocker and everyone else at the hearing saw him do. There are like later episodes where, and they may have already happened, some of them, where that aren't later, where they just said, "Hey Doc, he's not fit, right?" And then the doctor's like, yeah, he's kind of fucked. And they're like, "Cool, I'm taking command." And like, that's it. They don't have to have a competency hearing.
No, it's just, you're deemed unfit for command, you're relieved of duty, I will take over, period.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
I feel like we've seen that already. Yeah. It's a lot of hubba about nothing. Just a lot of talk.
Now,
for no new information.
All right, so we've got a few different things on the casual sexism that I was like, holy shit.
Looking forward to it, yeah.
So, only female in the landing party was the one who was upset by her looks. All the men were worried about the competency. So, we've talked about that. Now, she was originally supposed to be Uhura.
Oh.
But Gene Roddenberry didn't want Uhura to look ugly.
My fucking God. Oh.
Now, there is a possibility, because it has been said, and I did do some research here. Beverly Washburn, who played the character of Galway in this episode, was a former child star. So her character and the behavior may have just been a bit of an in-joke anyway, because she was known as a child star.
Fair enough, but like that doesn't translate anymore.
No, it doesn't.
And still, there's not a lot left there.
Now,
it's not like because she is, like, in terms of framing, she is immediately outshined by the what's her name, the endocrinologist who is supposed to be the attractive female in this, like, the old flame from
the other person who has no business being in this episode.
Yeah, basically.
Well, aside from Commodore Stocker.
Be outed for having an age gap thing.
Oh my God.
That's it.
That's exactly really what I said.
All over character.
Like I said, I had here in my notes, the other big bit of casual sexism was the entire role of Janet Wallace. She serves no purpose other than to proposition Kirk, say she never loved her husband, only admired him, get called out for having an old man kink, despite the fact that before any of this happened, she was counting the fucking days since the last time she saw Kirk, and then assist
before he looked like an old man. So that's not the thing.
And then she just plays the role of Nurse Chapel. All she does is assist Dr. McCoy.
Yeah. And like, you could have done something interesting with that setup, because you have the potential to do something sweet where Kirk is like, "Oh, you have nothing to, I'll be dead in an hour and I have nothing to offer you." Like, there could have been something, "No, I still care for you even though you look like an old fart." Like, there could have been some emotion there. But instead we get, like, her just basically fucking over her dead husband by going, nah.
Hey,
And yeah, he was 26 years older, but he was a great guy. And what the fuck are we doing?
yeah.
This is such a weird episode.
Also, you want to know what's better about it?
No. Tell me.
She said, Kirk is like, how long has it been anyway? And she's like, whatever she says.
Yeah.
And that is a real Shaw's line from Court Martial about how long it's been since she's seen Kirk. They recycled it.
Get the fuck out.
They absolutely recycled it. Janice,
so canonically, it's been like 2 days difference between sleeping with either one of them.
No. They did change the amount of time, but in Court Martial, he said, how long is it? And Shaw said 4 years, 7 months, and an odd number of days. And in this episode, he says, how long has it been? And Wallace says 6 years, 4 months, and an odd number of days.
That is such a
they just
bad, don't recycle lines. God damn it. Give her a character. Just any sort of personality will do.
I was like, oh, Effie's gonna love this if she remembers. And I will remind her if she didn't.
But yeah, I'm glad you did. Jesus Christ. It did feel like, oh, there's another past lover who is yet again still longing for Kirk. Sure, that's fine. I can deal with that. But come on. Write something new.
I hate it, but I'm also like, I also love it because it implies that so many women are just sitting around counting the days since the last time they had that Kirk dick.
Yeah, I mean, there have been times in my life where I was not yet over an ex. I was not counting the days.
No.
Why the fuck would anyone be counting the days? I might remember the day, like the anniversary date, but why the fuck would I remember the breakup date? I just remembered my last breakup date, but that was very close to my father's birthday, so I feel like I have an excuse on that one.
Yeah, that happens.
I was sitting at a birthday table party thing, so like I think I have the right to still remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. The makeup was fine. They did a good job making people look old.
They did an okay job. Like, some people, they did a really good job. Kirk, they didn't do a great job. Like, I felt like his frown lines could have been a lot heavier. But, like, at a certain point, like in the mid-range where he is most of the episode, his hairline is so far back.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And then, when he gets, like, real fucking old at the end.
Yeah,
like
his light. His back.
Like, his hairline is, like, almost down to his damn, like, his eyebrows. It's so bad. It's just back to where his hairline might have been originally, but like it was retracting, and then they just gave up on that. So yeah, well, I think they got a little too close to Shatner's actual hairline, and he was like, "No,
I'm not shaving for this role. God damn it!"
All right, so one of my other big problems with this episode is, I've mentioned it before, Commodore Stalker. So many Star Trek tropes in this episode. Like, you have like the lady who comes in who was an old flame of Kirk's, you know. You have the girl who doesn't want to be old, you know. She's just a red shirt, you know, red shirt and a blue dress.
Basically. It's how it goes.
Yeah. And we got Commodore Stalker, who is the bureaucratic guy, guy who wants Kirk to do the thing.
A higher in rank officer aboard, you know that sooner or later he will fuck Kirk over out of his position.
Yeah. And
otherwise, you don't have a ranking officer just there to like they always try to take command away from him.
And it's hilarious because you have stuff like Kirk screaming like, you know, that pencil pusher's going to destroy my ship or whatever. Chair-bound paper pusher.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, cool. This guy is not memorable really whatsoever. I always forget he exists until every time I watch this episode and I go, oh yeah, that guy. And then I'm always just sitting there going like, okay, I get you're a pencil pusher. You have no fucking field experience. Okay, but like, even someone, if you were a Commodore in Starfleet, you have to know it's a bad fucking call to send the ship through the middle of the damn Romulan neutral zone, right?
Yeah, you should know that. And also, you should realize that as soon as Sulu double checks with you through the neutral zone, you should know something is up and you're making a bad call.
Like, this is bad.
Also, just generally, like, what would you have me do, like, a lower ranking officer with less experience? Apparently, there is no less experience commanding any sort of ship. Like, Sulu is right there. He's fine.
Yeah.
So he could take over. There's no... Jesus. Ugh.
Yeah.
It is stupid.
It is.
And on the other hand, like, they give him a very flimsy excuse of, like, I want to get to the starbase. And on the other hand, I'm like, well, if something here is causing it, why the fuck are we sticking around to see if that makes it worse? Like, we could have left. Mm-hmm. We didn't have to stay in the dangerous area.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a point, but also not enough of a point to be like, I need to commandeer this vessel to go to the starbase. Because apparently there is very little their instruments are better at. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
They just needed to read some history books and realize that radiation poisoning was once treated with adrenaline, and that's the whole reveal. God damn it. It feels so thin. So the whole solution is just so, that's the thing. He got startled. Wonderful.
Yeah. I was even aggravated with Chekhov. Like, he's fun and a bit of a quirky guy, but like, he's like, oh, more blood, Chekhov, more this and that.
It was fun, but it lasted too long. It could have been like 3 lines shorter.
It could have been 3 lines shorter, but I'm also like, Jesus Christ, you're callous. You know, like, they're trying to figure out why you're okay and all these people are about to die. You realize they're dying, right? People have died.
Exactly. Like, the point, like, I get that it is funny to have him complain at, like, oh, I want to skin a sample of that and sample of that, and I'm going to run out of samples.
It's a funny line.
But then moving on to, oh, yes, I'll live, but I won't enjoy it. Like, what the fuck, dude? You're fine. You're literally the only one who's not getting killed by the minute.
To me, the thing that makes that scene work, though, is like how over the top he is and how Sulu responds with, you'll live. Like, total,
here we go again.
Total straight man on this one. Just, you'll live. Like, Jesus, dude. Calm your shit there.
Take it easy, buddy. His genes, his Russian genes must have been, anyway. That might have saved him. He's a cowardly lot, those Russians. I don't know. What era are we in?
I will say, I thought the makeup for everyone but Kirk was really good. Yeah. And I thought it was funny that Galway, they basically gave her like a weird scarf around her throat because they didn't want to have to do the extra makeup on the low-cut dress.
Fair enough.
I do
feel like her makeup wasn't great, though. It really looked like they just plastered an entire mask layer.
A little bit.
It looked too thick on her.
A little bit.
The wig wasn't great, but yeah.
But I do think that, like, the makeup on D. Kelly, on McCoy, was really solid, and the makeup on Spock was really solid.
Yeah. Scotty even, too. Like, he wasn't there for a lot of it, but he looked good. Kirk looked good in the middle stretch, too. Like, it was just weird... The weird retraction of like, and his hair grew back, and now he looks less old somehow, but also old,
but older somehow also.
Yeah. That's just where it got confusing. But other than that, like, he looked fine for most of the episode.
Yeah. But specifically, I thought DeForest Kelley did, and Leonard Nimoy just did such a good job playing progressively getting older. Like, DeForest Kelley slowly got a thicker Southern accent.
Yeah. He almost had that like wet, like his mouth starts making different shapes when he's like really getting old.
Yeah,
and
he's like
telling people to get on the serum and like start making that stuff, and like he's almost just drooling. There is that dislocated jaw thing.
Yeah. I think that is specifically not drooling. That's like his mouth is getting dry and he's trying to.
Yeah.
He's trying to because old people do that.
Yeah.
I do that.
That's a Well, I mean, you're getting closer to. Jesus Christ.
Hell.
You just had a birthday. It's catching up to you. Jesus.
I haven't. It's weird because I've thought about myself. It's like apparently I've rejected turning 41. I'm just like, no, I'm 40.
Still 40. Fuck it. We're rounding down.
I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting I turned 41, which it's okay because several years ago I forgot that. That's not several, but like a few years ago I forgot how old I was, and I thought I was a year or two older than I actually was.
Oh, that's
so that was nice. Because, like, I had my birthday, and I was like...
but I already was. Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it was like, I had a birthday, and I was like, you guys are wrong. You forgot how old I am. I'm not that old. I'm this. And they were like, no, you're this. And I'm like, really?
Do we need to do the maths? Like, yes,
and then
apparently.
Because I had just like skipped a year, and I was just like, I'm 37, and they're like, you're 36, dude. What?
You just turned 37. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, I thought I was 38 now.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, but no, you're 41. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Hasn't happened to you yet.
But also, no, not yet. But I hope to get there eventually if I just stick around, wait a little while, and
stick around.
I'll also get to, try and get some moisture into my mouth. But on the other hand, it's been like a week and a half, so it's fine if you haven't adjusted to your new age yet.
Right.
New age Dave. It feels like a Mirrorverse character. I shouldn't think too much about.
Oh, I think about it all the time.
Your new agey parallel self?
I don't know about new agey, but I think of like Into the Dave verse, like all the different versions of Dave.
Right.
Yeah.
They would get along probably.
They're all just like bald fat dudes who are watching different reality shows.
I mean, I imagine the reality shows on the Nazi mirror planet are different. So,
and about half of them still haven't figured out that they need to like reposition their couch so that they don't have to crane their neck to watch their fucking TV.
They'll get there. I'm sure. By the time they all turn 48, give them a couple years, man. Don't be so hard on them.
Right. It took me
Some
long
of
enough.
them might actually still be 37. We don't know.
That's true.
Whatever they say.
Now I did really enjoy this. I enjoyed a lot of the episode. I enjoy even the episodes I hate. I love them. So like,
sure, they're fun, but still not good. There's a difference.
Yeah.
I have my letterbox scale of like, the stars are for ranking how good I think a thing is. The heart is whether or not I enjoyed it. And same goes for this type of shit where it's like, yeah, it's not written pretty. It's pretty bad, but I had a fun enough time. I didn't mind spending my morning on it.
Yeah. Great bit in here where Chekhov is on the table and he said, and McCoy says, "Now this isn't gonna hurt a bit." And he goes, "That's what you said the last time." And McCoy goes, "Did it hurt?" And he goes, "Yes."
That one I loved. That was great.
And then Kirk just like nods and like motions like, "Do it again."
Just go for it. Whiny ass. Oh, great.
How did you feel when she's like talking about when Wallace is talking about wanting to be with him and the heart is not a logical organ, and he's like, how many years older was your husband? 26? Yeah. What's that about?
Such a weird scene. Like I said, it is weird. Like you even mentioned, it's weird to address that because she was already before he started aging rapidly. It was already a thing. So it's just his stubbornness showing, I guess. It's just him being like, "Oh, I'm old now, so you only want me for my old people, Dick. That must be the reason. You like the wrinkly skin. Like, what are we doing? Why is this in here?"
You're craving the raisins. That's what you're doing. Now, I feel like
basically, but it doesn't resolve this storyline. It just it ends up going to a place of, I guess we'll never see her again.
Yeah. And, I feel like that scene is there because, one, they needed to... See, that's the thing is, like, in the show notes, in the production notes on Memory Alpha, they bring up the fact that they had some other scenes that they wanted to do, but like everyone talking slower and moving slower dragged the runtime out.
Oh,
but I'm like,
sure, yeah.
So why are you putting filler in if you were cutting stuff you wanted to keep? Because I feel like some asshole on the writing staff looked at it and said, I really like that line where he asks her if it's genuine or if it's just a parting gift or whatever.
Yeah, weird.
And they just wanted to keep that so bad. And I'm equally confused because this episode, the story that was written by David P. Harmon, but then the last two drafts are Gene L. Coon, who's usually way, way better than this.
Yeah, but that might also be an indication that they instantly took it away from the guy who wrote the first draft.
Oh, definitely.
They're like, oh, we need to fix this shit.
Yeah.
And even Gene L. Coon couldn't really get it there.
Maybe not in the time.
Because I think you probably should have merged both female characters and been like, because you might as well kill off a past love interest from Kirk anyway, because you're not going to do anything with her next episode.
Right, yeah.
So given that formula, you might as well have her age, and then that's attention of like, oh, do you still find me attractive, or did you just like me when I was young and pretty?
Oh my God.
And she can die and join her dead husband and be like okay with it. There's an arc to be had. You could do a number of things.
That's brilliant. Yeah, they're both getting old, and then at the end, after he's been like relieved of command, they're like laying on a bed together, and like clutching each other tightly, and they're talking about how they always did wonder what it could have been to grow old together.
Right.
Fuck, that's so good.
That's so much better. We've already improved everything. My goodness. But apparently Gene L. Coon was like, I have to work with what I'm getting, and this first draft is shit, so I guess I'm keeping the shit character shit.
But I follow that up with saying, I did like how they kept giving Kirk bigger shirts to wear. So that he looked like he was losing weight.
Fair enough. Yeah. Because they did have that scene of him shirtless in there again, just to be like, he's fit and young-ish for the time. And then they slowly have him degrade. And it worked. It worked fine. It was fun.
Now, I did really love, of course, Spock. I love Spock keep being like, I'm so cold. Can we do something about this?
Yeah.
And McCoy's like,
wonderful.
I'm not a magician, Spock, just an old country doctor. And Spock,
as I suspect.
As I've always suspected, yes.
Yeah.
Great. So let's see. Oh, I'll agree with this. Walter Koenig felt that Chekhov seemed younger in this episode than in any other, claiming that his reaction upon discovering the corpse in the teaser was more like the reaction of a 15-year-old than that of a Starfleet officer who had sat on the bridge of the Enterprise.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was a little over the top.
I've never seen a corpse.
Yeah.
Which, then again, like, there aren't a lot of corpses because everyone just get phasered out of existence. A lot of people don't get burials.
Yeah, that's true.
And someone dying of old age is creepier and probably also doesn't happen a whole lot. So if he's just never seen his grandparents, lie in a dark room before, this setup was kind of creepy. It's like, if you want people to come and pay their respects to Alvin, whoever the fuck Alvin was, then maybe...
Never got back to that.
Don't turn off the lights and then make them flicker to have them shocked and it's not a haunted house. Come on.
So Memory Alpha says no special effects shots were filmed for this episode. The entire Romulan attack is created using stock footage from Balance of Terror and Errand of Mercy. So that was they're talking about the non-remastered version.
Yeah, of course.
Also, no actual Romulans appeared in the episode, and this season's only Romulan appearance. They would return one final time in the third season. And that's a great episode.
Damn it. Oh, I'm looking forward to it then.
The script called for the aged Kirk to run from sickbay to the bridge and gradually grow younger until he arrived. But as director Joseph Pevney told Alan Asherman in the Star Trek interview book, the slow speech patterns and actions of the aging Enterprise personnel were making the episode overrun. So Kirk's reverse aging scenes were cut. They should have just cut that lady.
Yeah. It could have been fun. Like, it would have been a hard shot to really do, probably practically at the time, but
maybe
it could have worked. At the same time, the reveal still works when he suddenly shows up and is like the Deus Ex Machina.
I mean, yeah, you just cut.
Solve the shit. But yeah, no, you would have. I understand. But I mean, it's not necessarily to build up to him appearing on the bridge. Like, the suddenness of the moment works too. But it would have been cool to see them try that.
So apparently, even though they were running so long, somehow the last shot of the episode is lifted straight out of Amok Time because Walter Keating's wearing the wig that he wore in that episode.
Huh. Okay.
Like, Memory Alpha really failed me on this episode about like production, because I'm like, why was this the thing? No, that doesn't make sense.
Why would they? Is this just laziness? Is this time pressure? Is this what? Like, why?
Now, I do know that there was a bit in there where you can see that in a blooper where Shatner had to sit in the chair and get remade up, and he was mad because like they pulled the cord on the show for the end of the day. They're like, no, we can't do this anymore. And he's like, I'm going home now. After sitting and getting this made up for 3 hours, I've got to go home. We didn't even get to shoot.
Yeah, that sucks. Oh.
Let's see. They point the continuity section. They point out that Kirk's age is given as 34 in this episode, and that Sulu has served with Captain Kirk for 2 years.
Mm-hmm. That I did notice. I hope that's. I mean, it's consistent for now.
I guess.
Who's to say? We'll see.
So Kirk, I love this. This is one of the things. Like, once he gets up to the bridge, and he puts in that fake message using code 2.
Yeah, which is a fun solution to the whole thing. Like, that I liked.
He once again uses the Corbomite maneuver.
Yeah.
From the Corbomite maneuver, and scares the Romulans away with a fake device that isn't there. I dug that. Yeah. That's all I've got.
Works. It was well. Yeah. Okay. That's the important shit. We did it.
It is. Oh my God. I can't believe it. We did it. We came back and we got back in the groove a little bit.
Yeah. We didn't die of old age. We just, we got our mental faculties still in check. We can still manage an episode. Oh no. Oh, I can't hear you anymore. Am I going deaf?
This is incredibly ageist, and I'm not comfortable with it at all.
I am here to make you feel uncomfortable on recordings. That is my job.
You know what I am comfortable with, though, Effie?
What would that be?
The return of Harry Mudd.
Ooh, yeah.
Because next time we're talking about Mudd.
Ooh, I am intrigued.
You should be.
Good to hear.
So yeah, we usually watch 2 of these at a time and review them both. And Mudd and The Trouble with Tribbles is what's coming up next for us. And those are both comedies. So
I have to get in the funnies. Okay. I'll adjust my expectations to laughing. for like intended reasons.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think they're both mostly comedies.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that.
They don't really, they don't break the universe with tone, No.
I know what you mean. Like, we've had comedies before in this podcast series.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's going to be it for us to now.
Probably should be it.
The hell
now.
date.
Yes.
All right. Joel and True, live long and prosper. And of course,
eat that dick, people. Eat a dick. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Star Trek Universe Podcast, a Stranded Panda production. If you'd like to hear more from David C. Robertson, check out the DC On Screen podcast or maladjusted.tv for his web videos. If you'd like to hear more from Matthew Carroll, check out the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast or listen to his music. Just search for Matthew Carroll anywhere you get music.